Okay, here we go. This is Joint Conference Committee number 1 for House Bill 144. After some discussion, trying to find a good landing spot for this bill, I think we came up with 2 proposed changes. The first one being in 18-15-102 subsection C, when we have a new requirement to require anybody forming a board to provide the following programs and services, basically requiring them to stipulate on the ballot what the scope of services would be. After some discussion, it seems like the county commissioners in particular have the ability to do that already. We shouldn't be requiring that in statute because they can do it if they would like to. So one of the proposals is to strike that new language and leave those statutes as they are. The other one conceptually it would be on page 3 of the engrossed bill, where I believe the Senate Standing Committee allow for nonprofit corporations to receive funding, and we'll be striking that as well. So don't have a specific word-by-word amendment, but I think those are 2 pretty simple concepts. And so that's what we'll be discussing today. Any further discussion on that committee? Senator Case.
Mr. Chairman, so those 2 proposals that you're just removing amendments put in by the second house, basically, so they're within the boundaries of this committee and between the 2. Should work.
Any further discussion? Representative Craigo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those were 2 of my concerns when it came down to our chamber, and so I think that helps me out a lot with the bill going forward. And I think other people in the chamber had the same concerns with those. Maybe especially on the nonprofit one, that one seemed to cause a lot more concern than the ballot question. That was kind of one I thought. I just felt like we were hamstringing our county commissioners and our districts to kind of set up the ballot question the way they wanted. And so I think those address my worries, and I think a lot of the other members as well. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
So the motion would be, I'm sorry, you
go. You got anything, ma'am?
I am good with all that. As long as Craigo is happy, we're all happy.
I know about that.
You don't know about that, huh?
Senator Schuler.
No, I actually think that's a good catch, particularly on page 3. I think that's a really good catch because, you know, the nonprofits do kind of muddy the water a little bit, but I think the way it's worded there, I think it's okay. You guys are comfortable with it down there?
Okay, very good. Yeah, I think that might be give us a pretty good shot tomorrow when we go for approval of the Joint Conference Committee. So any public comment? Or
Well, I appreciate you all.
come on.
You got to get up to
Come
the
on down.
microphone.
Yeah.
You got to make it efficient.
Yeah.
My apologies, Mr. Chairman and Ms. Chairman. I appreciate you guys gathering together to do this. It's been a long haul, and there's been a lot of heads put together to make this work, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm Don Larson.
Thank you, sir. Anybody online? Okay. Well, committee, I guess we'll entertain a motion to get a conference committee report written up that reflects that agreement.
So can we just kind of clarify what the motion would be? There are particularly amendments that we would remove. And so maybe, Mr. Representative Craigo, maybe you could just make a motion that says what we'll do.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, the motion would be to on the amendment providing, and I don't have a lined out version of the amendment, unfortunately, and I apologize, but to remove the language that says to provide the following programs and services, parentheses, listing of the proposed programs and service, parentheses. So strike that inserted language.
Was that a particular amendment?
It was.
So you could come to the amendment, and that was put on in which house?
Well, it was part of a larger amendment. It wasn't an individual amendment.
Yeah, okay.
It was more of almost a substitute bill. I mean, there was a lot. It was wholesale changes, and so it was all one amendment, and so it's hard to
I understand.
It's
to
a
line
Senate
that out.
committee.
And then, Mr. Chairman, to remove the language regarding nonprofit corporations, which is or nonprofit corporations to provide in parentheses, I think is what it was. So those are the only 2 things that we needed to do, and that would be the
And
motion.
Mr. Chairman, and both of those came in through amendments in the Senate, I think, right?
Yeah, one was
Yes,
the
sir.
standing committee amendment, the other one was the committee of the whole amendment.
Okay, so definitely we're in the bounds of what
Yes.
happened. Okay, I go for it. On the Senate side, I'll vote for it.
Okay, all right.
We got
So-
unanimous here, you guys both vote for it, we got it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, that carries. So that'll be the conference committee report. I mean, it's a House bill. I believe the House chairman is responsible for
Yeah, you
getting
have to, you've got to.
the
get it
report
prepared.
ready, and I'm sure we can help you with that tomorrow morning. So,
I'd appreciate that.
yep,
Thank you.
okay, all right.
What times do you want to meet?
Oh, well,
I don't think we have to really meet. I think we're done and you can bring the report around for signature.
That's just what I was gonna say, we don't have the signature.
Yeah,
yeah,
You'll help
Okay.
me.
yeah.
very good. Okay, thank you.